Welcome everybody to my Let's Play of Rygar. It's a short game that I'm playing while I do my level grinding in Dragon Warrior 5. So it's kind of like a Metroid game where you kind of run around a large open world, unlocking new abilities that unlock entrance to new areas. So when I first started the game up there, I pressed the start button, brought up my character menu, and there was two words there. There was the tone and last that had numbers by them. Tone is the attack power of your disc armor, which is the weapon that you use, and last is a number that determines how many hit points your character has. Right now we have 3 hit points, and they're indicated by those 3 dots in the upper right corner. Both of those increase by defeating enemies. Last pretty much increases with every enemy you defeat. Tone only goes up with certain enemies. Defeating enemies will also, sometimes in addition to getting you tone and last, will also get you magic points. Magic points are donated by those little stars, those yellow stars, and you can get up to 8 points, and they are dropped in increments of 1 and 2s. In the Grand Mountain lies the entrance to Garlaz. Now the only reason I went up there is normally you would go over here, climb down this rope over there, but you can actually avoid climbing up this way. This jump here, you can actually make it if you creep all the way over to the right and then make a leap of faith. You can actually make it, so I just wanted to show that off. But I'll be showing off all the gurus that you can talk with in the game, just to show all the information you can get. So the gurus help give you information and clues as to where to go to unlock new abilities. Sometimes they even tell you what abilities you are going to get. So there's also some gurus that can heal your life. So that's one way you can heal your life. The other ways you can heal your life are, besides the magic points, the stars that the enemies sometimes drop, is sometimes they will drop red potions. That will restore 1 life point. And if you get 8 magic points, you can use that to use the recover magic, and that will heal all of your life. I just used the first magic spell, Power Up, which doesn't really power up your disc armor in terms of making it more powerful. What it does do is it increases the reach of your disc armor, so it goes out a little bit further. That costs 3 magic points. For 5 magic points, you can use Attack and Assail, and that means that the next 10 hits of your disc armor will hit every enemy on the screen. So it's good for like boss encounters when you don't want to get like close and personal with the boss. Now we saw a door over to the left. We're going to go there first, but first we're going to get a clue from this other guru up here. Now we can't go any higher in this mountain, because if we start going over to the left, we're going to run into areas where there's no rope for us to climb. So we're going to eventually have to find a grappling hook to be able to climb further up this mountain. And the top of this mountain is someplace called Garba. That is one of the enemy layers. This game is kind of split into 2 types of play. There's these side-scrolling sections like this, and then there is an overworld section that we're about to go to, Garbez. And it looks kind of like the Legend of Zelda. So we'll be navigating overworld like Zelda here, and then side-scrolling like Mario Brothers or Metroid. Now, like Zelda, I just compared this game to Zelda a little bit there. You have to, in order to defeat the final boss, Rygar, we have to first take out his like henchmen. But rather than gathering pieces of the Triforce, we'll be gathering different pieces of equipment that will allow us to enter new enemy domains and defeat those enemies. So that one, that's it, and each of those domains hosts one of those Endora gods that we all have to meet. So they basically are like the Triforce, I guess, in a sense. So in these overworld areas, one good trick to know is that when you jump, it adds distance to your disc armor. So you can just jump up, and it adds the vertical height of your jump to the disc armor's length. So you can hit enemies from further away. So like that tree guy, we're able to hit him from a little further away. That only works though in these overhead areas. In the overhead areas, we're going to be looking for these little like buildings. They either take us to a guardian here, a guru I mean, who will give us a weapon or ability, or they'll take us to a new area. So that one guru on the mountain, Garba, he basically said that before we head, when we go to this area here, to head to the west first. And that's important because you have to head to the west to meet that guru so you can get that grappling hook, because without the grappling hook, anywhere we're going to go is going to lead to a dead end. And we're going to be basically told that, hey, you need the grappling hook to continue. If we went back to the mountain by heading to the south, we could climb up to the top of the mountain, but we wouldn't be able to get to where that tower is because we don't have a crossbow to create lines across these stumps. Some stumps will have lines already across them, but even the lines that have lines across them, we can't use them yet because we don't have a pulley. So those are two items that we're going to have to get by defeating some of those bosses, those henchmen of the big bad Rygar. So here we're in a new area. This is where we have to have the grappling hook because we're going to eventually come across a point where Rygar can't swim, and we're going to have to head up a tower to avoid the water below. So these lizard enemies right here are called Olbuses, and there's a lot of enemies have some really weird names. I'm not going to be naming all the enemies. I'm going to include a link to a page that has all the enemy names. I'm just going to be naming the enemies that we're going to do some grinding off of. So it's like I said, it's kind of like Metroid where you have to run around and unlock new areas, but it's also like an RPG in that you have to gain experience to level your character up, both get more hit points and to also power up your disc armor. So there's certain disc armor levels that you want to be at before you start fighting the bosses. So we want to get to around 200 power in our disc armor, or 200 tone, before we fight the first boss. Those lizard men are really good to grind on because they give 1 point to our tone by defeating them, and they keep spawning over and over and over again, so they're an easy source to farm. From here you can't go on without the grappling weapon, so good thing we got the grappling weapon. Now up here with the grappling weapon will take us to the final area in the game, but I'm just going to show it off. But we actually can't reach the final area of the game yet because we still need another item. Now, some people talk about a castle in the sky, so I'm just going to show off this castle in the sky right away. As you can see, the grappling hook, you press up and B, throws the grappling hook up, and if it attaches to something, we can climb up it. So there is the floating castle in the sky, the final area in the game, but we can't reach it right now. We must meet the 5 indoors to reach the castle. Like I said, those are like the Triforce, people, I guess. They usually give you one of those items like the pulley or a crossbow that allow you to continue on your journey. So you're gonna climb down. You can't just fall down. If you fall down off the screen, well, it's game over. If I get hit one more time, it'll be a game over as well. When you die, you basically restart with, if you have the power up, you lose your power up. You still retain all your experience and stuff, but you restart at the entrance to whatever level you enter. So we would start at the beginning of this area. So we have enough for attack and assail, but we're trying to get that 3 more so we can use the recover ability. So we have 8, now we can use recover. There we go. Now see our life is full. It's a good thing we got that there because there is a guru in the next area that will refill our life, but you might get damaged by one of these guys first, so it's a good thing we healed up. Yeah, it took that damage right there. We would have been done for if we didn't use that recover. So we can use the grappling hook to climb these little small areas. You don't necessarily have to use the grappling hook to get off screen. Like I said, we'll be doing a little bit more farming in the next area. We're going to learn who the boss of the next area is, the first of the minions. We'll get that information when we talk with one of the old men. Let's take these guys out. Like I said, they're a good source to get tone on our disc armor powered up. So they're you can grind them in this area too, because as you can see, they're popping up. And these scorpions that shoot like bullets at you there, they're kind of annoying, but I'll show you a good way to deal with them. Because usually they're sitting out of range from you. They're not cooperative like that first one was. And but you can actually scroll them off. So rather than jump over, attack them, and potentially be hit by their bullets and get knocked into the water, yeah, Rygar takes pushback damage when he gets hit. So there's one of those gurus who actually heals all your life. One of the good things is when we're on a rope or the grappling hook, you can still attack with your disc armor. Just press the direction you want to attack with, and then the attack button, the B button. You can attack up or down. In the arcade game, you can actually attack up. The arcade game is totally different than this game. It's just a straight side scroller. So that's how I deal with a lot of these like scorpion guys who are off screen that have to jump over and attack. You basically just have them appear partially on the screen, then you jump back and walk back a little bit, and then they will disappear. They'll despawn off the screen. So in a dead end here, when you hit a dead end, a good idea is to always throw up your grappling hook. Usually that taken to the trees. A monster, Eruga, lives deep within this forest. Now Eruga, to make Eruga kind of easy, you want to try to get probably a tone of 200. You can always see what your tone is. You just step in, walk back, then he disappears, then we can advance forward. They, I think, only give 2 tone to those scorpions. So there's a medicine right there. So it's not really important to kill them, because we're getting a lot of tone and last from these guys here. Like I said, every single one of these bulbous lizard men give us 1. We're going to find a nice farming area pretty soon. There's going to be this really long jump, and that's your, you want to basically do all your farming before that large jump, because right before that large jump is basically like a spawn point. If you go a little bit to the right, before you hit the jump, some will spawn. If you then a little bit to the left, some will spawn from the left. So it's a good way to basically get like 5 or 6 to spawn with just a little bit of distance. I got another hit point there. So my last hit is some increment. So here's the big jump that we're going to take, but that's the good point where it shows to start basically doing the grinding. We just jump over a little bit and see 3 will spawn there. We jump back, and some will spawn from the left. So we got 3 to spawn. We got full life now. Just jump back a little bit. Some will start spawning. Jump over a little bit more will spawn. Jump back. Sometimes some will spawn. It's just like hopping back and forth, and we get some to spawn. So you usually get like I think 5 or 6. So it shouldn't take too long to really do the grinding you need. I went a little faster. I didn't see what I was at. But as you can see, our disc armor is much stronger now, because these guys, they used to take a few hits. Now we're able to defeat them in 1 hit. So that shows that our disc armor is getting more powerful. And even though enemies tend to seem to have a simple pattern, you really want to, like I said, power your disc armor up, because they some will take a lot of hits if you don't power up your disc armor. Now your max tone and last. The max for both of them is 4,095. Of course, it'll take a while for us to get there, and we're not going to be, of course, grinding just on these these things that give us 1. It'll take way too long. But there's 2 more really good grind spots. This is our first one. because it'll get us the 200 we need. Luckily, the next boss is super duper easy, and you can just, even if you had like, there's a pattern to him that basically you can defeat him without taking damage. So we don't really have to grind on the second boss. These scorpions are kind of annoying. You can see. And finish them off. And there's, we're kind of close. Let's see. Very close. We're not actually at 200, but we're kind of close. I'll use Attack of Sail here. Now I don't even have to get next to a Eruga here. I can just hit him. The first 10 hits will just be hit him from everywhere. Now this guy, like I said, he works pretty bad. You kind of just want to attack him, jump over to the top here, hit him, jump back, hit him, jump back. Now you could lower him all the way over to the left, and you can get stuck in the wall. But we're just going to wait. We're going to jump over him, and we finish him off there. And by finishing him off, we meet the first indoor god. He gives us a pulley. That pulley now can cross those rope bridges that we saw. But we're hoping for life. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the right here. I mentioned this before we went into that area. We're going to head to the right here. Be careful. And head into this doorway, because here we have a guru who will heal us up. So now we're full health again. We can get a max total of 12 hit points. So we're halfway to max life. Now without the pulley, we can't go anywhere further. So that pulley is going to allow us to get to the next boss area, Sagila's Den. It's a little wonky, the hit detection, but basically once you have the pulley, you kind of gotta just walk around the stump where there's a rope, and eventually it'll make a clicking noise, and once you hit that clicking noise, then you can just jet across the pit that the pulley is, where the rope is crossing. Let's head up here, get some information from this guru. Do you have the God's Coat of Arms yet? There's another item I'm going to get. When you have the God's Coat of Arms, that some gurus will see that and they will reward you with a life potion, and that'll fill your life up entirely. For now that we have the pulley, we can get across here. Well, we could have went down, but there's no way to get across to the area to the left here, because the only way to get over there, and that's where the second boss is, Sagila's Den. Luckily, Sagila is very, very easy, and there's a trick to basically defeat him without getting hit, so we don't have to worry about doing any grinding for Sagila. We'll come back on our next episode where we head into Sagila's Den right here. Take care. Bye.